Welcome to NFL Nexus. In the world of the NFL, the offseason can feel like a high-stakes chess match. Every move, every decision can be the difference between planning a parade or planning for next year's draft. And right now, there is no team at a more interesting, more fascinating crossroads than the Philadelphia Eagles. They are staring down two massive, franchise-altering decisions that feel like they come from two totally different universes. It really is a tale of two philosophies. On one hand, do you play it safe? Do you lock down a proven, elite player you absolutely know can perform? Or do you roll the dice? Do you bet big on unproven potential, hoping you found the next genius? The Eagles are about to do both at the same time. This is going to be fun. Let's break it all down.
Really think about that question. It's the thing that keeps general managers and coaches up at night. So many teams look great on paper, right? They've got the franchise quarterback, the star receiver, the big-name pass rusher. They're contenders. But what's that little bit of extra magic that turns a contender into a champion? It's almost never one single thing. It's the 100 little decisions made between February and September. It's choosing to pay the right veteran guard. It's finding that diamond in the rough linebacker in the 5th round. It's hiring a position coach who unlocks a player's true potential. Every single move has a ripple effect, and getting those moves right is what separates the good from the truly great.
And for Philadelphia, it really feels like their entire season, their entire Super Bowl dream, is balancing on the edge of a knife, defined by these two completely opposite strategic decisions. It's wild. It's like they're playing it totally safe with one hand and going all in on a risky bet with the other. One decision is on the defensive side of the ball, and it's all about securing a sure thing. The other is on offense, and it's a massive gamble on a rising star. Let's start with the defense, where the Eagles are trying to make sure a key piece of their puzzle doesn't walk out the door.
Okay, so first up, locking down the defense. And really, it all comes down to what we'll call the Jaelan Phillips dilemma. In today's NFL, let's be honest, it's all about the pass. If you can't disrupt the opposing quarterback, if you can't make him uncomfortable, you are going to get picked apart, period. It's the one non-negotiable truth of modern football. And for the Eagles, a massive part of their ability to do that now rests on the shoulders of one guy who completely changed the dynamic of their defensive line, a guy they simply cannot afford to let hit the open market.
So for anyone who needs a quick refresher, Jaelan Phillips was that blockbuster trade deadline acquisition for the Eagles. He came in and immediately provided the juice their pass rush was missing. He was a game wrecker from day one. But here's the problem. That was the end of his contract, so now he's a pending free agent and the clock is ticking. What makes this so critical is that he's a hand-in-glove fit for the defensive scheme their new coordinator, Vic Fangio, wants to run. Fangio's system needs versatile, athletic edge rushers who can win one-on-one matchups, and that is Phillips' calling card. And maybe the best part? He's publicly said he wants to stay in Philly. So it all sounds perfect, right? A match made in heaven. Well, not so fast.
And a huge part of his value comes down to this number you see right here, 26. In the NFL, that's the magic number. That is the absolute peak of a player's career. He's young enough to have all his athletic gifts, but he's been in the league long enough to have the technique and the wisdom to use them. He is just entering his prime. So we're not talking about signing a guy for a year or two. A player like Jaelan Phillips at 26 years old is the kind of guy you sign to a big extension and build your entire defensive front around for the next 5, 6, maybe even 7 years. He is a blue-chip cornerstone player.
And look, this isn't just about how he looks on the field. The stats, the hard data, they absolutely back it up. Let's look at these numbers from Pro Football Focus. He racked up 73 pressures last season. Now, what does that actually mean? It means 73 times he was in the quarterback's face, forcing a bad throw, forcing him to run, or getting a sack. He's a constant living nightmare for opposing offenses. And that pass rush grade of 76.2, that put him at 22nd out of 110 qualifying edge defenders in the entire league. That's not just good, that's firmly in the top 20%. He is an elite, proven, and dominant force. The numbers don't lie.
So this is where it gets confusing, right? This is the heart of the dilemma. You have a young, elite player who's a perfect fit for your new defense, who has publicly said he wants to be on your team. Why are we even talking about this? Why isn't this deal already done? It seems like the biggest no-brainer in the history of no-brainers.
Well, here's the conflict in black and white. The Eagles' goal is simple, it's direct. Sign Jaelan Phillips to a long-term deal before the free agency period officially begins. Get him locked up now. Because the threat, the big scary monster under the bed, is the open market. It's a feeding frenzy where all it takes is one other team, a team with tons of salary cap space and a desperate need for a pass rusher, to start a bidding war that could drive his price into the stratosphere, a place the Eagles just might not be able to go.
And please believe me, this isn't just some vague hypothetical threat. It's very real. Pro Football Focus, one of the most respected names in football analysis, has already started connecting the dots. They specifically pointed to the New England Patriots as a team to watch. They literally call them a splash possibility for a team like them that is trying to win now and has a boatload of cash to spend. Reading that specific quote should send an absolute shiver down the spine of every single Eagles fan. The threat is real and it has a name.
So what do the Eagles do? Well, luckily for them, they have a successful blueprint for this exact scenario. Just last season, they were in a similar spot with linebacker Zach Bond. They got to the negotiating table early and signed him to an extension before he could even think about testing the open market. That move probably saved them millions. The strategy here has to be the same. Step 1, follow that playbook. Step 2, get Phillips and his agent in a room right now and make a strong, fair offer that respects his status as an elite player. And step 3, get that ink on paper and prevent a bidding war you might not win. It's the safe play, the smart play, and frankly the only play they can afford to make.
Okay, so take everything we just talked about, playing it safe, locking down a sure thing, avoiding risk, and just throw it right out the window. Because when we pivot to the offensive side of the ball, the philosophy could not be more different. It is a complete 180. On offense, the Eagles are not playing it safe. They are taking a massive, calculated gamble on a name that, until recently, most football fans probably didn't know. Their new offensive coordinator, Sean Mannion.
So who exactly is Sean Mannion? For the better part of a decade, he was the guy you see on the sidelines with a headset and a clipboard, a career backup quarterback. But here's what makes him different. He wasn't just coasting. He was a student of the game. He's described his playing career as a mission to weaponize his experience. He was in the quarterback room with some of the best minds in football, absorbing every scheme, every concept, every play call, with the singular goal of one day becoming the guy in charge of an offense. He was a coach in training long before he ever hung up his cleats.
Now, when I say his rise through the coaching ranks was meteoric, I am not exaggerating. I mean, look at this timeline. He was still an active player in 2023. Most coaches spend 5, 10, even 15 years grinding away in lower-level jobs, quality control, assistant position coach, you name it. Mannion took his very first entry-level coaching gig with the Packers in 2024. And just 2 years later, he is the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles, a team with serious Super Bowl hopes. That's not just fast. That is an unprecedented, almost unheard-of leap in the NFL coaching world.
This one simple question really says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly frames the entire debate that's swirling around this hire. Is this a bold, brilliant, forward-thinking move by the Eagles to snatch up the next great offensive mind before anyone else realized who he was? Or is this a dangerously reckless gamble? Is it putting a team built to win now in the hands of someone who's never done the job before?
And let's be really specific about the risks here, because they are huge. He's seen as a perceived prodigy, not a proven performer. There's a world of difference between being brilliant on a whiteboard and calling the right play on 4th and 1 in a playoff game with 70,000 screaming fans. He's not taking over a rebuilding team either. He has been handed the keys to one of the most talented and most expensive offenses in the entire NFL, which leads to the biggest question of all. Is a team with championship aspirations the right place for a coordinator who is, essentially, going to be learning on the job?
Now, to be fair, the Eagles front office isn't flying completely blind here. They are well aware of the risks involved. They didn't just throw Mannion to the wolves. They made another very smart, very strategic hire to put a critical safety net in place, and that safety net's name is Josh Grizzard. So here's the clever part. Josh Grizzard was also a finalist for the offensive coordinator job himself. He was right there in the running. So after giving the top job to Mannion, the Eagles turned around and hired Grizzard as their passing game coordinator. The idea here is to give Mannion a support system. Grizzard provides what's been called a level of padding. He's an experienced voice in the room, a veteran sounding board, a guy who's been there before. He can help Mannion navigate the challenges without taking away his authority as the lead play caller. It's a brilliant move designed to give their high-potential gamble the best possible chance to pay off. All right, so let's bring these two stories together now, because when you look at them side by side, it's just fascinating. On one side of the ball, you have a desperate, all-out push to pay top dollar to keep a proven elite star. And on the other side, you have this massive leap of faith, this huge bet on an unproven coach with sky-high potential. It's two completely different roads leading to the same destination, a championship.
This slide really boils it all down. The defensive plan is all about the sure thing. Pay the man. Keep your known, elite, game-changing talent in Jalen Phillips, and you know your pass rush will be a strength. The offensive plan, though, that's the wild card. You're betting on the upside. You're gambling that Sean Mannion is the next Kyle Shanahan or Sean McVay, and you're getting in on the ground floor. certainty versus potential, safety versus risk.
And this is the main takeaway from all of this. The Eagles aren't picking one strategy over the other. They are actively pursuing both at the exact same time. It's a hybrid approach. They're being risk-averse and embracing risk simultaneously. They are trying to build a championship roster by balancing the bedrock certainty of an elite player on defense with the high-variance, high-reward potential of an innovative new coach on offense.
And that really does leave us with the billion-dollar question, doesn't it? Is this balanced approach the new blueprint for building a champion in the modern NFL? Can a team really walk this tightrope, playing it safe with one hand while gambling with the other, and find its way to a Super Bowl? We're about to find out. The Philadelphia Eagles are our test case, and their entire season, maybe even the next few years of their franchise, could depend on the answer. It is going to be absolutely fascinating to watch. What did you think of the Eagles' two-pronged strategy? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to NFL Nexus for more deep dives all season long. Also, a quick shout out, if you're looking for something fun for the football fans in your family, we've just launched a series of coloring books. They're great for kids, grandkids, and honestly, they're a pretty good stress reliever for adults too. You can find them by clicking the link in the description or by scanning the QR code on your screen right now. Your support really helps the channel keep going. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.